the fandom had been waiting to witness an upgrade to Luffy's gears in One Piece for the longest time. And well, mangaka Oda delivered in the Wano Country arc with Luffy's peak form, Gear 5. Oh yeah, Gear 5 is now Luffy's most powerful technique and a phenomenon that will make headlines once the anime adapts this arc. Luffy in his godlike form already broke the internet when it first appeared in the manga last year. But we are ready for history to repeat itself. Some spoilers for Luffy's Gear 5 technique have even reached anime-only viewers, who are contemplating picking up the manga to see our beloved protagonist in its peak form. Thus, everyone is eager to learn about Luffy's new Gear 5 form. Well, if you are one of them, we have compiled all the information for Luffy's Gear 5 technique, including all his powers and abilities. So, dive right in. The Gear 4 technique was introduced way back in 2016 when Luffy fought against Don Quixote da Flamingo in the Dressrosa arc. Right after, we even got to see Gear 4's subforms, including Bound Man, Snake Man, and Tank Man in the Whole Cake Island arc. Since then, One Piece fans had been eagerly waiting to see Luffy level up and reveal the new Gear 5 technique. Well, it took more than 5 years, but it finally happened in Luffy's final battle with Kaido in the Wano Country arc. So, Luffy's Gear 5 is the latest gear technique in his arsenal. It is the awakened form of Luffy's Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika Devil Fruit, not Gomu Gomu no Mi, as revealed by Silver's Rayleigh. Gear 5 is even considered to be the peak form of Luffy, unlike any other we have seen before. Gear 5 is Luffy's pinnacle power, and he can do anything he wants in this form. Furthermore, it is mentioned that his powers are only limited by his imagination. With this gear unlocked, Luffy is said to resemble the warrior of liberation, sun god Nika, who is said to bring smiles, joy, and freedom to the people. Gear 5 gave Luffy the complete freedom he ever wanted, and as a result, enabled him to bend reality and break the laws of physics. Additionally, Luffy was seen smiling throughout this form, which indeed put a bright smile on the fans' faces. But what's more interesting is that Luffy's Devil Fruit, Straw Hat, and many other things are related to Joy Boy, and this metaphor of him smiling suits the theme around it in a beautiful way. When using the 5th gear, not only does Luffy's powers instantly improve, but he also takes on a dramatically different appearance. Luffy's hair, eyebrows, and his entire clothing, excluding his sandals and belt, become a striking shade of white. The white motif is furthered by a large white cloud floating around his neck. Moreover, one cannot help but notice the crimson tint of Luffy's pupils as well as his wavy and bushy white eyebrows. Nevertheless, as Luffy exits Gear 5 mode, he reverts back to his standard look. How does Luffy's Gear 5 work in One Piece? It's simple to understand the concept behind the working of Gear 5. Alongside Luffy's Devil Fruit, there are 3 other Hito Hito no Mi Devil Fruits in this pirate-led world. Let's take the ex-fleet admiral of the Marines in One Piece Sengoku's Devil Fruit, the Hito Hito no Mi model, Daibutsu, which enables him to become a golden Buddha. Similarly, Luffy's Devil Fruit enables him to become the sun god Nika. Nika is said to bring smiles and freedom to the people. Likewise, Luffy is given complete freedom in his Gear 5 form and is always seen laughing/smiling. Since Luffy is now an awakened Zoan Devil Fruit user, he has grown mightier in strength, moving at a godlike pace, and his toughness too has become unbreakable. That is why everyone considers Luffy to be at the peak of his power when using the Gear 5 technique. Luffy has already started to adapt to Gear 5 and was seen using it flawlessly in the Egghead arc battles. That said, it's time to discuss all the powers and abilities of Luffy's Gear 5 technique, along with some of its disadvantages right below. Now you must have come to understand how Luffy's Gear 5 works. In this form, Luffy fights in a Looney Tunes way, which is hilarious and amazing at the same time. In a period of shonen heroes getting power upgrades in a serious way, who would have thought Oda will present Luffy this way? That being said, let's learn about the potent abilities of Luffy's peak form. The powers and abilities of Gear 5, based on what we have seen until now, are as follows. Firstly, as mentioned earlier, his strength, speed, and toughness have drastically increased, to that of a Yang 0 level. This enables Luffy to perform unimaginable attacks, which were seen as impossible before. Luffy can use Gears 3rd and 4th freely in this form without the need of blowing air into his body. He can now quickly recover from any damage he receives during battle. This is applicable even when he is unconscious. Luffy can now infuse both Armament and Conqueror's Haki types at the same time and land a powerful attack on his enemy. The flexibility of his rubbery body when combined with his absolute freedom gave birth to a new way of cartoonish pliable defense. For example, Luffy was able to wrap his head around Kaido's Hasaikai in the manga. Luffy can alter his surrounding and even organic materials into a rubbery form which can extend the use of his attacks. As we said earlier, his powers are only limited by his imagination. With Luffy's insane creativity, we hope to see more ways he uses his new Gear 5 powers in the upcoming arcs of One Piece. Some of the well-known Luffy's Gear 5 techniques are listed right here. Gomu Gomu no Gigant. Gum Gum Giant. Luffy can become a giant using this technique. Gomu Gomu no Budgerong Gun. Gum Gum Budgerong Gun. Luffy can inflate his fist as big as the Onigashima Island and can imbue both the Armament and Conqueror's Haki for this attack. Gomu Gomu no Fusen. Gum Gum Balloon. As the name suggests, Luffy can literally become like a balloon when using this attack. Gomu Gomu no Dawn Rocket. Gum Gum Dawn Rocket. Luffy can pierce his hand, like a rocket striking, against an opponent's abdomen. Gomu Gomu no Dawn Whip. Gum Gum Dawn Whip. Like a whip, Luffy can elongate his leg to create a twisting kick against his opponent. Gomu Gomu no Magura Pistol. Gum Gum Mole Pistol. As Luffy strikes the ground with his fist in Gear 5, a piece of the ground nearby extends into a tentacle-like arm and attacks his foe from the side. Gear 5. Situational Techniques. There are some techniques that we saw Luffy use depending on the situation in the manga. These techniques are as follows. Gomu Gomu no Kaminari. Gum Gum Lightning. Luffy alters the properties of a lightning bolt to grab it and throw it at his foes. Gomu Gomu no Dasutsu Rocket. Gum Gum Escape Rocket. When Luffy was trapped inside Kaido's body, he stretched his arm out of Kaido's eyes and grabbed his nose to perform a sling-like escape out of Kaido's body. Gomu Gomu no Nawatobi. Gum Gum Jump Rope. In his giant form, Luffy can capture his foe to stretch them and use them as a skipping rope. And that's a wrap on our explainer about Luffy's Gear 5 technique, which is now his peak form. We hope this guide cleared all your doubts about Gear 5. We have mentioned how it was awakened, the appearance of Luffy, and last but not the least, its power and abilities. Luffy is mastering this 5th gear right now and was again seen using it in the Egghead arc. His powers are growing rapidly and will greatly assist in the journey that Straw Hat Pirates undertake to find One Piece. The Wano Country arc is shaping up to be one of the best arcs in One Piece, and I can't wait to see Luffy's Gear 5 being animated. That said, if you have read the manga, which of Luffy's Gear 5 attacks is your favorite and why? Let us know in the comments below.